time to do the long shot 2 game mode and get the rewards for my ultimate team in Madden 19. Last year I played through the entire long shot game, separate game, and then all the solo challenges later on. And first off, I'm gonna day one be working on my ultimate team, and I'm going to keep in the back of my head that it might be wise to check out long shot 2, because in Madden 18 my long shot players did break the lineup. That Chad Ochocinco, I think he was 84 overall, was on my team for a while, and I got a lot of plays out of him. You know, you had if you remember last year, we had the Devontae Adams at the end of the Madden NFL journey, and it took a ton of solos to get to him, and he was one of the slowest wide receivers in the game. He was an overall 86. Comparing the two, I felt like it took less time to do the long shot story and the challenges than it did to do that whole NFL journey. I mean, that NFL journey, it was a lot of solos to do just for an 86 overall. So, and not only that, you only get 186 overall last year, and it was a wide receiver that was slow, whereas in long shot, you get the Colt Cruz and you get the Devin Wade. Devin Wade was my quarterback. I got him back in August, and he was my quarterback for a while. He was tall, semi-mobile, and his throw power was decent. Also, the Dan Marino that you could get, that was a decent card. What I like about putting the time into the long shot is you're not only just you don't just get one card, you get multiple cards across your team, and that can fill some holes and save you some money in the beginning, because our goal for next year is to watch how we spend our money. You want to, when you spend your coins, you want to make sure you get a good return on those coins when you go to sell that card. So in the beginning, I'm not going to be buying a lot of packs. I'm going to be saving coins and try and get my coinage up, because once you get your coinage up, you will remain with that amount of coins throughout the year. I wouldn't recommend selling coin or buying coins, buying players with your coins. Like, say if you want an elite overall and he costs like, say 20k, and you know, I wouldn't go ahead and do, I'm going to save up 20k and then spend all my coins on this one card. You want to build your coins up as much as possible in the beginning, and then start to build your team so that you can get to over $1 million. And I'm going to be posting videos here on Journey to $1 million and just my journey through Madden 19 Ultimate Team. I'm going to be posting games and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm going to be doing the long shot 2, not right off the bat, but I'm definitely going to be checking it out the first day after I look at like what solos EA's given us. I may give it a day or two before I get online, because I think it's more important to try and get these solos done and build your team, rather, you know, than going on and catching a couple L's. I mean, day 1, day 2, there may be people that are buying a bunch of packs, and you know, it may get rough online. But since online only gives you, you know, head-to-head rewards and some coins, you know, you're not going to get a lot out of your time you put in to build your team. Like, I recommend building your team with the solos, the solo grinding, and saving up your coins, sniping the auction house, because people on day 1 are crazy on the auction house. They want to buy up all the elites, so stuff's going to be high priced, and you can really benefit from that. the long shot game mode I enjoyed, although during it I was kind of distracted because I wanted to, oh, how is this going to help my team? My Madden Ultimate team, and I saw, as I started getting the rewards unlocked, I was like, you know what, this is time well spent. It's going to get me some players on there that are going to be able to be position, like, backup players, or like, in some cases, they're starters. And it gives me depth to my roster in the beginning. Because in the beginning, I don't like to go out and start spending coins like crazy. I'd rather save them. So yeah, this video I hope helped you out with how my direction is going to go with long shot 2. At the end of the day, I would check out what the solos are, grind solos, and probably, the end of that first day, or after a few, maybe 5 hours, go and check out the long shot story. The long shot story I wouldn't say it wasn't amazing last year, but it also wasn't terrible. I don't know, I can get stuck doing solos in Madden easy. I get this where I want to complete everything I can and stuff, but we got other lives, we got things we got to do, so we got to look into what are the best things I can do day one to get my team better without spending all this time sitting there playing MUT. Overall, I'm saying, I think that it was worth doing the long shot from last year. It really benefited my team, and I would do it all over again, if I went into it again. But that's why I'm saying in Madden 19 I'm probably going to do it again. I'm going to be posting videos about what to do, what's the best way to beat the solos, and what's the way to beat the long shot too. But anyway, I hope you guys are all having a good day. Yesterday I didn't post many videos about Madden. I was taking a day off. But they just released the Madden 19 ratings. Player ratings. And I don't know, I'll go over those. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, so I'm going to read those first. They released player ratings 2 weeks ago, and I guess they just released these ratings lower than what they actually were going to come out in the game, because people were raging about some of these ratings and they didn't make any sense. Like Cameron Wake, one thing I wanted to touch on is this. Cameron Wake is a defensive end for Miami Dolphins. He's played in the last 2 seasons. In the last 2 seasons, last year he had 10.5 sacks, and the season before that he had 11.5 sacks. And the final Madden rating I saw of him today is an 89. He didn't even break 90. And I wanted to compare him to other defensive ends, and the one that popped up, the first defensive end that popped up was J.J. Watt. And they put J.J. Watt at a 97 overall. And J.J. Watt didn't play it down last year, so no sacks. And the year before that, he had 2 sacks. So in the last 2 years, J.J. Watt's has 2 sacks, and Cameron Wake has had 22 sacks, and they give Cameron Wake an 89, excuse me. It was an 88, now it's an 89, and they give J.J. Watt a 96. Now, this has nothing to do with J.J. Watt as a person, or if you're a Texans fan, I'm not hating on your team. You know, good for you. I do like J.J. Watt. He's a fantastic player. But I'm just talking about the basic, how are they getting these ratings? How does that happen? Another one is the highest rated player on Miami is Rashad Jones, our strong safety. And I just looked today and they gave him a 91 overall. That's what they finished with. Now, 2 weeks ago when they first released it, he was also an 88 overall. I compared someone to him that's a strong safety, and I compared Eric Berry, and Eric Berry was at a 95 2 weeks ago. And I looked up the stats. I'm going to look them up again here.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat.
And their stats are pretty even. And surprisingly to some of you, Rashad Jones' ratings are actually slightly better than Eric Berry's. All right. So we have, I'm going to read Eric Berry's first. This is just quick off Google, Eric Berry stats from 2010 to 2017. Eric Berry and Rashad Jones both came into the league in 2010. They both got drafted in 2010. So this is the perfect comparison here, the best one I could find. We all know that Eric Berry in Madden 18, the Token Master, was one of the best strong safeties. So we have Eric Berry's stats. Career combined tackles, 434. Career assisted tackles, 65. Career sacks, 5.5. Interceptions, 14. Yards gained by interceptions, 374. Touchdowns, 5. Now I'm going to go to Rashad Jones. Okay, Rashad Jones came in the league 2010 like Eric Berry. And, okay, his combined tackles for Rashad Jones, 677. Assisted tackles, 152. Sacks, 10.5. Interceptions, 18. Yards gained by interceptions, 252. Touchdowns scored by interceptions, 3. So I'll do them back to back now. Eric Berry, combined tackles, 434. Rashad Jones, combined tackles, 677. Eric Berry, assisted tackles, 65. Rashad Jones, assisted tackles, 152. Sacks, Eric Berry, 5.5. Rashad Jones, sacks, 10.5. Interceptions, Eric Berry, 14. Rashad Jones, interceptions, 18. Yards, Eric Berry, 374. Yards, Rashad Jones, 252. Okay, that's the first category that Eric Berry beat Rashad Jones. all the rest have been to Rashad Jones has been better. Eric Berry, touchdowns, 5. Rashad Jones, touchdowns, 3. So there's the second that Eric Berry has beat Rashad Jones, and it's by 2 touchdowns, okay? And that's a lot of that is situational. What I think would be more important would be how many interceptions. Now, there's nothing that changes the game more than a pick 6. That's my favorite play in football. But when you look at interceptions by Rashad Jones, he has 18. Eric Berry has 14. That's 4 more interceptions than Jones. Or than Berry, I'm sorry. And the big one that stands out to me is sacks. Eric Berry has 5.5. Jones has 10.5. He has double the amount Eric Berry has. And then another one is, just tackles, run stop, or tackling the wide receiver. Eric Berry has 434. Rashad Jones has 677. So, I don't know how Madden puts Rashad Jones at a 91 and Eric Berry up at a 96. I just don't know how that's possible. How could you rate a man that has, they both came into the league at the same time, Rashad Jones has better stats, and then you rate him 6 below, 5 below Eric Berry, who doesn't have as good as stats. The only things that are better at Eric Berry has is he has 2 more touchdowns. That's it. And then the yards that you return after a touchdown. So I guess that because a pick 6 and then how you run the ball after a pick 6 gets you a 96 compared to a 91 when Rashad Jones. Like, to be honest, like, yeah, those, I'm not taking away anything from Eric Berry. I also like Eric Berry. But those few times that you returned it for a touchdown wouldn't make you a better player than in every down. Like, every down, Rashad Jones is making plays. Now, because Eric Berry had 2 more interceptions for touchdowns and 100 more return yards, how does that equal out to a 96, above Rashad Jones? I don't know. That's really all I'm going to say about it. I want to keep going on about it, but I just don't understand these Madden ratings. Leave in the comments below your team and who you don't agree with. And again, I wanted to say, I really like Eric Berry. I had his card in Madden 18. It was my favorite card. The card art was great. And I love Eric Berry as a player. The height, everything, And the same with J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt, on and off the football field, is a great guy. And this isn't an attack on them. I think it's, great. Like, that's awesome that they got those stats. The people for the fans of Kansas City and the Texans are going to be thrilled, and good for you guys. That's great. It's, you take all the help you can get in Madden. But as a Miami fan, I'm sure any of Miami fans out there can relate. It's the NFL and Madden, EA Sports, they kind of disrespect on the Dolphins. Like, the stats are right there, and I guess they just want to say, well, because the Dolphins have made the playoffs only once in the last few years, we're not going to give them their players a good rating. Like, what I see, the best way I can describe it is on the Dolphins, they punish players that are playing good just because they're on the Dolphins. Like, that's just not how it works. Like, you don't punish a guy's rating because the team doesn't succeed. It's like, oh wow, look at these Rashad Jones stats. They're, easily one of the best in the league, but we're going to hand him a 91 because he's on the Miami Dolphins. I can't figure it out. That's the only thing that makes sense to me, is that explanation right there, because Dolphins aren't a team that a lot of people like or respect. They take away like 5 points from their overall rating just right out of the gate. They're like, well, like what I'm trying to say is, like, by now, I know people sit there and they go through the ratings, but what they should have is a computer that records all their stats from last year and kind of gives the people that are making the stats a percentage of, an average of maybe where they should rate this person. See what I'm trying to say? Like, instead of going through each on your own and then in your mind, like, well, they should get this, they should have a computer that kind of says, based on their performance and their stats of last year, they should be around this overall rating next year. Now, if they probably don't do that, but if they do or don't, I still don't see how people that sit down and look at the stats give a rating of a 91 to a guy like Rashad Jones or an 89 to Cameron Wake. Like, I'm not even going to pull up the J.J. Watt stats. Like, those are the two that bother me. But, like, how, a guy like J.J. Watt has only had 2 sacks in the last 2 years, and he's a 97. And Cameron Wake has had 23 in the last 2 years, and he's an 89. He didn't even break 90. I don't know what's going on with that. Alright, so next subject that I'll touch on here in the last 2 minutes. With the pre-order, if you pre-ordered Madden, and you make your choice on day one of who's the elite player you want from what team. They released the players from each team that are going to be there. Now, a glaring one to me, and I hate to admit it as a Miami Dolphin fan, but in MUT it doesn't matter. And I like the guy, I like the way he plays. It's just the team he plays for is Patriots. That Rob Gronkowski card looks great to me because I like to have a safety blanket to throw to, and I need a good run blocker for running. In the beginning of the year, I'm going to do my best to make sure I can, at least run the ball. And last year, Rob Gronkowski was one of the better tight ends for run blocking. So what I'm going to recommend to you guys is build your team according to what cards you have, meaning with my rookie premieres, I've done, if you've watched the past videos, I've done Derwin James, I've done Barkley, and I've done, where is he? Ward. Okay. So if I get an elite player at that position next year from a pack opening or for whatever it may be, it's going to go right on the auction block to make me some coins. I already have 3 positions, strong safety, cornerback, and running back. Now if I pull a second running back that's elite, that's going to go right out on the auction house to start getting some coinage. And that's how you want to look at things. You just want to build your team all around and see where your weak points are. But that's part of the reason I like to do these rookie premieres to get ready for next year, is it's automatically going to make you some coins. Because if you open a pack and get an elite running back or strong safety or cornerback, you don't need them. What you do need them for is the coins. That's just a small tip I have for you guys. Playing the Madden Ultimate Team, when you go online, you're playing people that open packs all day and just sell the cards for coins, and they're going to have all the best players available on the market because they, basically spend an unlimited amount of money, and then they just get all these coins by selling them in the auction house, and then they're going to go out and get the best cards available. So us people that are not trying to do that, not spend all this crazy amount of money in the beginning or throughout the year, you got to do everything you can to keep up with these guys that are just going to be buying 99 overalls from the auction house. I'd be interested to see who's going to be getting the Madden 19 pre-order, and who's your favorite team. I'm going to make some of these playlists here on my channel for the pack openings and just tips for Madden 19 next year. You know, I'd appreciate any support. I'm really excited about bringing you guys through this next year of Madden 19. Today is July 10th, so we're less than a month away. It's about 3 weeks away that the people that pre-ordered it are going to be breaking into their new Madden.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a second down throw for Cousins. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 30.
What I'm doing here is getting my 80,000 passing yards. Because I've only been playing this Madden the last 4 months. And I'm trying to get the MUT Master rewards. I'm very close to the 80,000. So good technique is to run backwards on these squads that you're playing against the computer that are low overall rate, and you can just throw it up to Calvin. And each game you're going to be getting 400 yards or something. And I can't wait to complete this easy yards so I can just go back to playing the game normal. It's time consuming because instead of putting on Excel clock and getting through the game, I turn it off and get as many yards as I can to get this challenge. There he is. He's just burning them way far out ahead of him. Right, and each play takes about 10 seconds off the clock, 20 seconds, including running backwards. What's he got? What does it say over there? 382. Let's look at our yards right here. Marcus Mariota got 447. Now, some of that was there when I started, but I think I've thrown for like maybe 350 since we started in the third quarter. In those last 30 seconds, let me go over the Madden 19 ratings of the highest players in the game.
The virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one. In that case, run it up.
This is off of Forbes.com.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
I'm going to pull up on my cell phone. Alright, here's a look at the highest rated player for every team. New England Patriots, 99 overall. QB Tom Brady and tight end Rob Gronkowski. Pittsburgh Steelers, 99 wide receiver Antonio Brown. Los Angeles Rams, 99 defensive end Aaron Donald. Carolina Panthers, 99 middle linebacker Luke Kuechly. Denver Broncos, 99 left outside linebacker Von Miller. Green Bay Packers, 99 QB Aaron Rodgers. Atlanta Falcons, 99 wide receiver Julio Jones. Oakland Raiders, 98 defensive end Khalil Mack. Houston Texans, 98 defensive end J.J. Watt. So J.J. Watt isn't a 97, he's a 98. With 2 sacks in the last 2 seasons. Jacksonville Jaguars, 97 cornerback Jalen Ramsey. Minnesota Vikings, 97 free safety Harrison Smith. Seattle Seahawks, 97 middle linebacker Bobby Wagner. Kansas City Chiefs, 96 strong safety Eric Berry. Dallas Cowboys, 96 center Travis Frederick. Right outside linebacker Sean Lee. Right guard Zach Martin. New York Giants, 95 wide receiver Odell Beckham. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 95, outside linebacker, Levante David. New Orleans Saints, 95, defensive end, Cameron Jordan. Philadelphia Eagles, overall 94, strong safety, Malcolm Jenkins. Washington Redskins, 94, tight end, Jordan Reed. Cincinnati Bengals, 93, wide receiver, A.J. Green. Arizona Cardinals, 93, running back, David Johnson. Tennessee Titans, 93, tight end, Delaney Walker. Los Angeles Chargers, 92, wide receiver, Keenan Allen. I like that rating for Keenan Allen. Buffalo Bills, 92, strong safety, Micah Hyde. Baltimore Ravens, 92, right guard, Marshall Yanda. Miami Dolphins, 91, strong safety, Rashad Jones. Detroit Lions, 91, cornerback, Darius Slay Jr. Chicago Bears, 90 overall, strong safety, Adrian Amos. San Francisco 49ers, 90 overall, cornerback, Richard Sherman and left tackle, Joe Staley. Cleveland Browns, 89, left guard, Joel Bettino. Indianapolis Colts, 89, wide receiver, T.Y. Hilton. And New York Jets, 86, strong safety, Jamal Adams. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.